So, but I wanted to welcome everyone, and I hope those of you who are in the show have somewhat recovered. I know I'm still trying to recover from that, but it was a great show, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. I'm gonna have to look at notes, so y'all just bear with me. And I just wanna tell you, this is our last meeting for this year. We will not meet through the holidays. We will pick up again January 22nd. So we'll send out information about all of that, but that will be the month that we join start our new membership for that year. So we will, our dues will be due then, and it will be $50. And at the end of that month, we will go up $10 for late fees. So you want to get in your dues in January. Let's see. Let me look at my list. Our first holiday small work show that we've had in a while, and it wasn't really a small work show back then, but we had our first show successfully.
Yes.
And that's big.
Yeah.
I was so glad to be able to have a holiday show again. We used to enjoy those so much, and this one was a lot of fun. And I'm going to thank our leaders here in just a minute, because they did an outstanding job. Yeah, okay, I'm going to get Pam to come up, and she's going to talk a little bit about the show, and let's give her a hand and Susie Caffey a big hand. Because they were our show chairs for this, and they did an outstanding job, and it's a big job, but they did super, did an amazing job. And so she's going to tell a little bit about the show, and then later we'll have a report on what we, how much we made off of it. So I'll turn it over to Pam.
So thanks if you participated, if you were a volunteer. We really appreciate all the help that we got. I have a number of cleanup kinds of things to talk to you about. One is several things were left here. I have a black metal stool, I have a black wooden stool, I have a black and white scarf, I have a bag. If you are one of those, see me after the meeting. They're all in my trunk. I've been carting them around since Sunday, so you can get them back. I want to thank Forstall. They were very generous and provided $200 for the reception, which was Alabama Art provided $100 for the reception, and then Mountain Brook put in money as well. There were some leftover crackers, and they are over on the side table. I bought some cheese to go with it, so you have a chance to have a little nosh while you're here today as well. Let's see. If you were one of the things that Martha said is that this is the first time that there's been a holiday show. I think it's the first time since COVID that there's been a holiday show, if I'm right about that. And it's also the first time that we've done it in City Hall.
Yes.
And the first time that we had everybody inside. So there were a lot of artists who are usually outside with tents who were inside for this show. So there were a lot of firsts for this show. There were 47 artists who participated, which was amazing. It really does matter if you register early. We worked through a wait list for people who registered late. So a little hint for the spring show, make sure that you get your registration in very quickly.
Yes.
Although it's always possible to make improvements, there were so many successes at this show. Great success with great attendance at both the reception and on Saturday until, of course, the game started. We had great interest from potential new members who wanted to be a part of this group, which was also fabulous. We had several new members who volunteered and became more engaged with the club, so all of those were really great positives. And for me, the best thing was the opportunity to talk to colleagues. I learned so much from other people. I learned about new resources that were available. I learned about new shows I knew nothing about, and I got to know people a little better. And I think that was really a plus, in addition to all the other things that came with the show. I'm not going to announce total sales because I know that's coming, but it was good. So congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, Pam.
Yes, thank you so much, Pam. And Susie couldn't be here today, but she had a huge part in it as co-chair with Pam. They did an excellent job, and I'm so proud of both of them. And I hope they get some rest now. But also wanted to mention, and she mentioned as well, but thank the volunteers who helped with this show, because it couldn't be done without all of you. And thank you for the exhibitors who exhibited,
Yes.
because that's a lot of work, but it helps so much, and it contributes to our show. I mean, you know, of course we have to have our exhibitors, but it also contributes financially, and we are so glad that y'all were able to do that. Hope you recover soon. I want to also, she mentioned Forstall and Alabama Art, and they are both great sponsors of our club, and I hope y'all will support them. Go in there, they've got a store full of supplies, and if they don't have it, they'll get it. And they have a lot of good workshops and classes, and some of our members Madison teaches at Forstall, who'll be doing our demo, and several others, and several who teach at Alabama Art. So y'all go support them, because they really go out of their way to support us. So right now I want to thank Susie Caffey also for the other big job that she had this year, was to be our president. And she's not here today, but she'll probably watch this later on YouTube, I imagine. And hi, Susie. And she will love hearing your applause for her, because she does a super job. She's gone above and beyond, especially to take on co-chair on top of being the president this year. That was a lot, and she handled it beautifully. So thank you so much to Susie.
And we did give her a gift at the
Yes,
board
we did.
meeting
We gave
for
her
her service.
We gave her a gift at our board meeting, knowing that she wouldn't be here today. So for doing that for us, so we appreciate it so much. I also want to thank Jenny Dixon. She is rolling off the board, and she was our corresponding secretary, right? I always get those two mixed up. Corresponding secretary through the year, and did an excellent job with the emails. She's been here and been diligent to keep us updated on everything, and works a lot in the background as well, and we appreciate all you have done. Thank you for serving. Etta, you're here? She's not here, is she? Okay, well, we might just postpone that till she is here, maybe next month, but we wanted to give her a thanks also for her dear friend, Janet Tillery, passed away several years ago, an elderly lady, but Janet's entire art collection was donated to our club to be used, whatever sales we could get, to be used to give to our club. And Etta handled all of that, and we just wanted to give her a thank you. But we'll wait till January and see. I'll try to get her here on January. Let's see. So I'm going to give I'm going to give the membership report for Delana. She said we have 139 new members total, 139 right now. We have 6 new members who have joined, and they are, I'm going to read the names, and if any of y'all want to stand up and tell a little bit, just tell a little bit about yourself and say your name and a little, a line or two about yourself, and then also your medium. that you like to work in. These are those who have actually joined. We have some visitors here, but these are the ones who have actually joined the club. Gina Butera, is she here? Okay, Kathy Stafford, Karen Murphy, Kelly Priest, none? Okay, Christopher, I know Christopher's here. Oh, Kelly's here, I'm sorry, Kelly.
Hello, everyone. I'm happy to join you guys today. Really excited about making new friends. I'm new to Birmingham from Knoxville, Tennessee. I do what a lot of us do. I'm down here for the new grandbabies. Two beautiful little grandbabies. I'm real excited. I'm an encaustic artist, and I do encaustics to kind of support and grow my oil paintings, and I do oil paintings that teach me how to do my encaustics. So
There you go.
I work between the two, and just really thrilled to be here.
That's excellent. Now, we're glad to have you. Okay, I have also Christopher Soniat. I know you're here, I believe. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Chris Soniat. I work in acrylics and trying to learn a watercolor, thanks to Pam, over time. And I'm just in it for the fun and for the gray cell stimulation.
I understand that. We're glad to have you both and all of the new members. And they're Emily, D'Agostino. Okay, thank you. It's like my name, so hard to pronounce a little. Go ahead.
I'm from Memphis, but have lived in Birmingham since 2002. And I primarily painted commissions, and up until a couple of years ago, I'm trying to find my own way. So I do acrylics and watercolor.
Okay, welcome, Emily. We're glad to have all of you.
Figures and landscape.
Okay, excuse me. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Yes. Edda's here. Edda, I want you to come up here, please. Yes, you. Come here, I'll tell you why. I just wanted to thank this lady, this dear friend of mine. She has, this is belated, but it has gone on for a couple of years now that she has worked diligently with the Janet Tillery collection. I just told them a little bit about that. But she has worked diligently she cataloged it,
Yes.
took photos, she organized
Stored
it,
it.
she
And moved it.
hauled it all over here for us to sell.
And met people with pieces.
We had, it was a lot
Yes,
for her to
it was a
do.
lot.
And we just wanted to give you an appreciation gift from, this is from Forstall. And we wanted to give this to you for our thanks from the world. Thank you, Edda.
Well, it was a joy. Janet was so special to all of us, you know. It
She was a
joy.
amazing artist.
Thank you.
Janet was an amazing artist. I have one of her paintings now over my bed and enjoy it every day. So now I'm gonna, let's see, didn't remember she had gonna do, is Denise, has she come in yet?
She's gonna be later.
Okay, we'll get back to her in just a little bit. She was gonna give a report on our, on how we did at the show. She's our treasurer.
I can do that.
Well, if you want to, that would be
I'll
fine.
do that, and I'll also
And then
need,
just do this
I
one.
kinda need to, I kinda need to make an announcement for
Okay.
her. She
I'm gonna turn it over to Christie.
So, I can see it. So, for all of you who use the club credit card machine and need to receive a check, Denise is coming and she's gonna be a little later, but she would like to get your check to you today. So when she gets here, she's gonna get the receipts for me and go through them and start trying to do that. So just be aware, and if you have the time to wait on her to do that, so she won't have to mail all the checks, that'd be great. so I'll just tell you that up front. She just called me right as the meeting was starting about that. And then I want to tell you the gross sales for the show were $32,206.92. Now, when you consider 40, that's an average of 700 plus per artist. When you consider that all of those works had to be under 16 by 20, that's pretty amazing. Give yourselves a hand. Right? So yay. Yeah, really, really wonderful. Again, just thanks so much to the show chairs and all of you who publicize the show. That's how we get people here, is, you know, through word of mouth. So keep that in mind when the spring comes and it's time for that show, that you get out and work your social media and work your emails and, you know, contacts any way you can, because that's the way you have a successful show. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question on the Mountain Brook Art Association Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Can we invite just the public to follow that?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a public page.
Okay.
Anybody can follow it.
Okay.
And to be honest with you, one of the things we did to publicize the holiday show is we did advertisements on Facebook and Instagram, and they allow you to tell you what they want that to accomplish, what you want to accomplish from the ad. And for Instagram, it was new followers. And so I don't know how many new followers we have, but we have a bunch from those ads. So yes.
On the subject of promoting yourself, there's an opportunity for if you want to participate in a show in Trussville this winter, January and February. If you donate one small painting, and I know everyone has one in their closet laying around left over from the show or other shows. If you donate that, we will promote you with the Trussville Chamber of Commerce, the Trussville Rotary Club, the through Alabama Art Supply's 12,000 email list, and through our city organization.
This is
because
Kathy
it's
Prince. She
viral.
didn't introduce herself.
I did not, but I'm
she's-
president of Arts Trussville, and we are trying to do a fundraiser. So your donation will raise money for a new art show. Some people participated in the Gateway show in our Trussville Entertainment District. We have a city council member now who's our cheerleader to get that back on track for next year. So, but we need funds, and one of the ways we're trying to raise funds is with this fundraiser. So the donated painting will be highly promoted as an online auction to benefit our organization. But as a thank you, you will get 2 paintings in the Trussville Public Library Gallery for the entire month of January and February.
So
that seems
great
like a deal.
opportunity for those who are looking to.
And then we'll have an art reception with a string ensemble from the First Baptist Church of Trussville, Conservatory of Music, and refreshments.
Lovely.
And all the movers and shakers are going to be invited to that.
And the deadline to get your donated piece to Kathy is December 1st.
So we are in this 2-week window.
Right, so
And the sooner
now
you
is
get
the
it
time.
to me, the sooner I can start promoting it.
And then your other 2 pieces you just have to have them ready by when?
January 1st.
January 1st.
Yeah, so just one, you send me Kathy Prince at kprince109@gmail.com. You can send that to me or through Alabama Art Supply. Our website is artstrussville.org. There's multiple ways to get it to me.
Have we sent that out from the club email?
Yes, it is out there.
Okay, well, we probably need to send that again. Jenny, if you could.
It
It is in the newsletter,
It is
but
in the
we've gotten so
newsletter.
many new members over the weekend that it might be good to send that out
And
again.
and people
if
have
we
been
can.
so busy and,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But we are down to our little crunch time of like
Yes.
2 weeks to get it
Right.
finalized, so you have like a small window of opportunity to get in on it.
kprince109@gmail.com,
Correct.
if you're writing that down.
All I need is a image, just an image of your donated art. That's your application. That's all it takes. We know you're serious when you say, I'm donating this piece of painting, this painting. And it will immediately go into a online promotion. I'll be doing the slideshow to the Trustful Rotary Club on December 10th, and it will be in the slideshow, and your name will be up there. And so it's a good opportunity to promote yourself and help Trustful's Arts Initiative. Thank you.
Kathy, are you looking for an original? Go ahead.
Okay, and I'm gonna share, I'm sorry, was somebody talking?
It can be
Okay.
framed or unframed, but if it's framed, I'd like a photo of it framed.
Talk to Kathy after.
Yeah, see Kathy after the
Yes,
meeting.
yes, afterwards.
Okay, so, yes,
I was just asking if it was, if you're looking for originals or prints.
originals.
Originals, okay.
Okay, so it's the time of the year that we have our slate of officers for the next year presented. And so I will present that to you today. I'm gonna read these names out for next year. And then you'll have 10 days. You can make nominations from the floor here at our meeting, or you can make nominations from the floor through email for the next 10 days. And then the first week of December, we will send out the survey for voting. Okay, so you all know how that works. But we will also send an email out from the club email that says if you have nominations from the floor, go ahead and make those in the next 10 days. So we can do that. But I want to read you, we're so excited. We've had such a great group this year. And I'm rolling off the voting board this year. I will still be around to do the website and all. But you know, the president, the past president, the president, and the president-elect are kind of it's kind of a 3-year term with 1 year serving each position. So next year, our president-elect for this year, Martha, will be our president next year. And then Pam Benoit has agreed to be our president-elect for
Raise your hand or at least.
2027. Madison has agreed to do programs again next year. Have you enjoyed the programs this year? And Delana has agreed. We twisted her arm really hard, and she agreed to do the vice president of membership again next year. So we're very excited about that. Thank you, Delana. And then corresponding secretary, which Jenny, that's Jenny's job from this year. Nell Koopman has agreed to do that for us next year. So we're very excited about that. I think the first time Nell has been on the board. Yeah. Okay. And then recording secretary, one of our newer members, Heather Davis, has agreed to do what Pam is doing today. Thank you, Heather. You have to be kind of techie to be able to do that. And then Denise Hamilton will continue to be our treasurer next year. Denise has done a great job. She's not here. And then Ann Proctor will continue as our treasurer-elect next year. That's the fine. She sat with me at the table all day on Friday and Saturday, y'all know. So she has done a great job filling in when Denise couldn't be there. And then Janet Sanders will continue as senior member at large. And we need her because she has all the knowledge of the club going back millennia. And I think that's all the non-voting leadership. And this is a big one. Melinda Good and Janice Wood have agreed to be our show chairs in the spring. And y'all know what a big job that is. So please support them. Ask them what they need you to do throughout the year next year, because there will be lots of things that they're organizing. So be as supportive as you can of them. Our newsletter team will continue to be Lisa Pruitt, Janet Sanders, and Pam Benoit is going to continue with that. And then the tech team is me and Susan Johnsey, who really we haven't gotten together and done much, but if any of you are WordPress people, like knowledgeable about how WordPress works, we really could use some backup for that. Like I'm really kind of desperate at this point. So you know somebody who does WordPress who would like to help. You know, I know artists are right brain people most of the time. I happen to be one of those right in the middle art brain people, but yeah, we need some backup with that. So please get with me if you can, if you know somebody. And is that all? Am I good? I think that's all for me. Great.
Thank you, Christy.
I
Yes.
thought of something I should have said.
Yes.
Can I do it now? If you took a sign, we need the stakes back.
Oh, yeah,
We
got
use
one.
them year after year, so bring them to a meeting and we can stick them into the storage. Thanks.
Okay, I also wanted to mention, I don't think it's been mentioned so far in this meeting, but we have this meeting and then we have January's meeting. And those two meetings count toward your eligibility to be in the show in spring. And so if you're here today, great. Come next month and that'll take care of your.
And be sure you've signed in, because that's how we know you were here.
Yes, that was, thank you, I was gonna mention that too. Everybody needs to sign in here up at the desk because we have door prizes in just a little bit too. So you'll wanna have your name down for that. Plus we just need a record so that we know that you were here for this meeting. So it'll count toward your show eligibility. I think that's it for the business. If y'all, does anyone have any additional or questions? Yes.
I have a little handout that I want to give y'all. So, most of y'all know I'm Andy Forstall with Forstall Art. We have our holiday sip-in shop this Saturday. Philip makes gumbo with art supplies raffles, so you have a chance for some free art supplies. It's just exciting. We're gonna have live painting with Madison, Pam, Caleb, and Nancy Hollis. So it's just a fun day. I hope y'all can come. Bring your family, bring your friends. If you want to take one and pass it around. I also brought some updated workshop flyers for our event. So just a little shout out. Thank you.
Andy and Philip and all of Forstall Art have been a huge support of our group, so y'all support them as well. We thanked you a while ago. I don't know if you were sitting there or not because I didn't see you, but anyway, we so appreciate all that y'all do for us and just certainly do. And I'm gonna that's all our business. Then I will gonna go ahead and introduce Madison. Most of y'all know Madison. He has been in our group for a while and has been our VP of programs for this year. It's coming up second year, and he's done some great programs. And we're gonna turn it over to him to do. He has actually demoed for us before several times, I think, and so I know it'll be good. And I'm gonna let Lois Mash kind of do more of a formal introduction of Madison, but. Thank y'all.
So it's my pleasure to have the opportunity as one of Madison's students to introduce him. So since he has a fabulous website that I just visited this morning and many times, his bio is on his website and you can find out all about his past. But in the 4 years that he's been here, there's a lot more to talk about, and I didn't want to take his whole demo to just tell you about his past. But he is from Selma. He moved up here from New Orleans. I couldn't find out much about New Orleans, which has me a little worried, but
Matter of public record.
So you already know about the fact that he's currently and will be the VP of programs and secured all the fabulous demos this year, which I think makes this meeting really so valuable for all of us, and not easy to to do with artists. You know, that right brain sometimes hard to get us focused on that sort of thing. He's also a fixture at Forstall. Fortunately, he stumbled into there, arriving from New Orleans, and the Forstalls adopt him. And he teaches a number of classes in abstract and realism. He's a very talented artist himself. I've been able to see that in our realism class. Anyone that can just get up there and put something together freehand, you know, is just in awe of, since until his class used a grid and all sorts of other types of tools to get everything in proportion. Also, he spent last summer in Italy, which I think couldn't have been more fabulous, on how to chisel, I don't know if that's the right word, blocks of limestone into recognizable figures. Most recently, he and Philip Forstall have created the Birmingham Art Alliance, which, I quote, is dedicated to celebrating and promoting the vibrant and diverse landscape in Birmingham. And you can find out more of that online too. You can join as an artist, and for your membership, you have an opportunity to show in this temporary pop-up. Right now, it's this gallery is next door to Forstall, and I'm guessing they'll announce, you know, where it will eventually move. He's also had great success at 2 art shows that I know of, and maybe more: the Loyola in Mobile, and most recently the Stonehenge Gallery. So please help me in welcoming Madison.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I know everybody here just about, I think. I do see some people that I don't recognize. So if you don't know who I am, hi, I'm Madison. Also, it's Susie's birthday.
Oh, it is Susie's
So we
birthday.
need to say happy birthday to Susie.
Happy birthday,
And it's
Susie.
today. It's today.
It is today. Yeah, I texted her last night because I knew she wasn't going to be here.
So, thank you, Lois. Glowing introduction. Yes, anything else about my past is a matter of public record, and the U.S. Attorney's Office, you can find all that on my website. Don't Google me, please, for the love of God. I'm originally from Selma. I went to high school in Montgomery. Both Selma and Montgomery claimed me. Went to Troy University, and then after Troy University, moved to New Orleans because I thought that would be a good idea. It was a lot of fun, let's put it that way. And in 2016, life brought me back to Montgomery, being an only child. And then 4 years ago, is it 4? 3? 4? I don't know. 4. Let's go with 4. 4 years ago, I decided it was time to move post-pandemic. So I moved to Birmingham not knowing I knew 3 people. And I literally stumbled into Forstall and wondered if they knew of anyone that had studio space. And I'm not going to do my Philip impersonation right now. It's very good though. But he said that yes, we have studio space upstairs, and one thing led to another, and I left with the key. And as I'm walking out, I'm like, well, I should probably go find an apartment now. The rest is history. So. I teach 2 classes a week at Forstall. I started with my abstract class, which I think many of y'all have taken at some point, and it's a lot of fun. Waiting for some of y'all to come back. The abstract class is a lot of fun. It's pure, non-objective abstraction. But recently, this year, I think it was this year, we started the Wednesday morning realistic class. Realism in acrylic. Kind of a beginner to advanced, kind of broad spectrum of painting realistic techniques in acrylic. I started off as a portrait painter. I don't consider myself an abstract painter. I consider myself a realistic painter who paints abstractly. 2 different things. But We do a lot of work on paper. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I go from my original subject matter to my work on paper to my canvas. Okay. This is going to be how I do things in acrylic. I've got some examples of works on paper if y'all want to come flip through these.
Can we pass them around?
Yes. I went ahead and did my drawing, which, as you can see, is very loose and chaotic. But when I do draw for a preliminary drawing for a canvas, it is very loose and chaotic. My finished pencil drawings are very, very, very realistic. The drawings on canvas, very, very loose. I've just now started using the Posca brush pen, which is new. Is it new? Is it new? And this has been really life-changing for me when it comes to drawing on canvas.
Is it alcohol based?
It is acrylic. Posca markers are all acrylic. It's also what I sign my paintings with, which are really, really great. Having a 3-syllable name is difficult to sign with a brush at times. This is wonderful. I really love the mark that it makes. So it's really good. So y'all can come up and see this if you want to. So just real quick, when it comes to color, I was never properly taught color. And part of me is a little resentful about that. The other part of me is glad that I wasn't taught color because I had to figure it out myself. Okay. I still don't feel very confident in it. I had a color class at Troy that was very, very scary, that everyone was terrified of, called Color and Technology. And I was very excited about it because I'm finally going to get to learn color. And we get to class and everything's on the computer. So after the class was over, I went back to my studio across the hall and was like, well, I still don't know anything about color. So, but one thing that I have discovered and started working with recently is the Zorn palette, which I think most of y'all are probably familiar with in some shape, form, or fashion. It is black, white, yellow ochre, and vermilion. It's a very limited color palette, it's a very earthy palette, and that's usually what I start with. So today, I'm doing a copy of a Henri Fontaine-Latour, who is a French painter. I love his work. I've kind of this ongoing series of abstracting his work. I think they're really wonderful. I love the concept of taking a painting that's, not too much bigger than this in real life and doing it much larger. Okay, you have so many opportunities to kind of abstract things in a lot of fun ways. The paper version is floating around somewhere. There it is, yep. And that was so this is an example of what we do in my Wednesday class. We did that was this last Wednesday? Yeah. Did you do one? You hadn't finished it? So usually what I do is I do a paperwork first, and then I do a canvas. Sometimes Madison gets really excited and just wants to do a really big canvas first, and I will do that. And then I will go back sometimes and do paper. But I love working on paper. That is the Fabriano mixed media paper. It is by far my favorite paper to work on in acrylic. It's great, and as you can see, it does not warp. I've got layers and layers and layers on some of those, and I do glazing and thick paint and all kinds of stuff, and it does not work. I love painting cheeseburgers. Yeah, so I'm going to just kind of get going. Most of y'all who know me know that I can talk to a wall and have a really good conversation with that wall. So I'm just going to be talking myself through this as I'm going. So feel free to ask any questions. I do not use a lot of medium with my acrylic. I start off very thin, and as I go, I use less and less water. Usually what I start off with are my darks. And I'm going to just start off with black and ochre.
Do
Do you use open acrylics or regular?
Okay, so about acrylic, and this is a shameless product plug. I use Abstract Innovative Acrylic. For me, this is my absolute favorite acrylic paint I've ever used. I love these pouches because, you know, when you have a tube, you get that air pocket, you know, and that just makes me frustrated. There are so many, like, air pocket tubes of paint all over my studio because I've just thrown them across the room. With these, they just go flat when they're empty. And they're really wonderful. Sennelier is a oil painting company that's been around for, Andy, how long has Sennelier been around?
Long.
They make oil paint, so obviously their acrylic paint is going to be very heavy body. It's wonderful. So I love it, love it, love it. So that's what I use. So that's a long-winded way of saying no, I do not use open acrylic. I like texture.
Do they stay wet for a long time?
They do.
Okay. I figured that's what the open part was about, but.
Madison, what was the brand of paint again?
It is Sennelier Abstract Innovative Acrylic. I'll pass here. It's really, really wonderful.
Hey, I'm not taking these crackers home.
Pass them around.
Not taking those.
I am not.
This is just black and yellow ochre. In the Zorn palette, your black becomes your blue. Your black and your ochre become your green, and then your black and white, your gray, kind of becomes your blues and your lighter blues and whatever. It's a really earthy palette. It's obviously you're not going to get a lot of vivid color out of it, but it's what I kind of like to start with.
What is the pinkish color on the bottom left of your palette?
That. Also, I just grab things sometimes. So, you know, I'm like, ooh, that's pretty. This is rose ochre.
Rose ochre?
I don't know. I've never heard of it. How do you get the job naming paint?
I don't know.
That would be fun.
And what was the paper?
Fabriano mixed media. It's a heavy body paper.
How long do you spend on the paper paintings?
So my thought about the paper is that I kind of I figure out where all my problems are.
Does that come in sheets of Fabriano?
It comes in a pad, and you really don't have to gesso it. I like to gesso it sometimes I don't. The pumpkin that's floating around was something we did in class. That's gessoed with black gesso, which I'm a big fan of.
Madison, on the burger, there's some blue accents. Is that the
Yes.
Pascals?
That is not the Posca marker. That is just blue accents.
So on the background of all these paintings you're hanging around, that's the black gesso?
Just the pumpkin. So fun little trick that I like to do since I don't feel very confident in color. I like to paint from, you know, if I'm using a photograph or something, I like to have it in my hand when I'm working, you know. I don't know how people look at a screen when they're trying to, it just drives me insane. But doing that, and this is something we talk about in class a lot, is like, all right, I just don't know if my color is right. Well, it's like, well, I'm gonna just paint on the physical photograph. And it's like, that's not bad, that's pretty close. And that's just a little bit of white, ochre, and black.
Are you using any water with that?
I'm not using any water at the moment.
Wow.
I mean, just whatever's on the
brush.
brush.
Yeah. That paint sat over there for a good while before you ever got there. You guys want to start painting. I'm amazed at it.
Madison, did you use that same palette on this hydrangea?
That, no.
No,
No,
okay.
because the color with the hydrangeas, you know, is a lot more vivid. The Zorn palette is just a good palette to start with. It's my base palette. I put those 4 colors down, and then I start to think, okay, do I want it to be more vivid? Do I want it to be more, you know, more day-glow colors or whatever? But it's just a great palette to start with.
So there's no blue.
Not like vivid blue.
Is there ultramarine blue? Okay.
Do you sell these paper paintings?
I'm about to. I'm planning a paper sale on my website.
Oh, okay.
We'll see how that goes.
How much more?
They're all going to be the same price and the same size.
Right? Yeah.
I had never painted oak leaf hydrangeas before, so I was like, well, why not try it? One thing I like to do a lot is I like to go ahead and throw my background color in around some of these forms, so I really make sure I got the shape right. I also go through a lot of paint.
I was wondering if you had enough down on your palette. That's a big
Hey
old.
Madison, why is your paint not drying out? Why isn't your paint dried out? Is it the brand?
One, the brand's really good, and 2, I paint really fast.
Do you add any medium?
I don't add any medium. If I use any medium, I use the golden retarder, but I don't have any today, and I use the light modeling paste. But with me, with acrylic, I just like to try to see if I can get it by just using the paint first. Think that, you know, acrylic, you can get a little overwhelmed with all the different mediums, and I don't like gels. I do not like gels.
Any particular reason? Don't like the way they work.
I don't like the way they work. It makes it really look like an acrylic painting.
I hear you. Plastic.
I mean, acrylic is a polymer,
Right.
and you kind of have to work around some of that in order for it to have that, you know, really beautiful look.
It's the grain. Whip from the fan. So how much is one of these bags of paint?
They are all the same price. I think they are $6.50
Okay.
a piece. I think.
Not bad at all.
That's another reason that I really like them is that, you know,
I use Sennelier pastels, and they're
Right.
they're fairly pricey. So, I figured. Acrylics might be. we allow people to come up and look. If you can't see where you are and you wanna come up closer, it's fine.
I don't buy it, I promise.
He does not buy.
Most of the time. Yes. I'm not really big on, different like brands of canvas. I mean, I'm just, I like whatever I can get my hands on at the time. I do like Strathmore canvas, but I usually gesso my canvas really anyway. So.
Madison, could you tell a little bit more about like how you pick the colors that you're going to continue? Like you mentioned, starting with the background to get the shapes in, but then I see you go to kind of a lighter color.
Right.
Is there
Usually,
a reason behind that?
when I do a lot of blooms like florals and whatnot, and I like to go ahead and kind of establish the lighter part first. Sometimes I do it completely differently.
When you mention the artist's name again, that you're.
Oh, it's Henri Fontaine Latour, who was one of the Impressionists. I've just always been a big fan of his work. They're just beautiful.
Excuse me, just 1 second. I just wanted to mention that this demo and all our other demos are on YouTube. We have a Mountain Brook Art Association YouTube channel. Go there and look at past demos, and it's very helpful, especially if you have to miss the meeting, to watch them. One thing I'd like to suggest, a little housekeeping, if y'all can hold it down as far as conversation between each other, whisper quietly or go out in the hallway, because it doesn't sound that loud, but when everybody starts, then you can't hear up here. And also, we're recording, so it kind of disguises what he's saying on the video. So just wanted to mention that.
I need to be louder.
You're fine.
I need to be louder.
You're fine.
I come from very loud people. I do a lot of layering, so I'm not sure how much I'll be able to do today, but that's the biggest thing that I try to stress with students is when it comes to acrylic is the importance of layering.
Madison, what did you use to draw your picture?
The Posca brush can,
Sorry.
which they're really wonderful. I love them. I had never really used them before I got to Forstall. I'd never used them before. And they're really, really great. They last a while. Not sure what the shelf life is. I also think they're refillable. I don't know how to do that, but I think they're refillable. Yes, please do.
That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure. Okay.
I will do the, I will use a Posca marker since it's acrylic, sometimes for really fine detail. If y'all want to pass this one around, I did this during Halloween, it's more of a spooky eye. But some of these little white little pieces are the Posca marker.
You used it on this one too,
I did it on that one too.
I'll pass this one, because this is Posca, on detail. The white one, this is white.
Did you use your thumbprint for scales on those fish?
I did.
That was
I get my Christmas weight off from last year. We're just Christmas. I get my DoorDash off from this weekend. Yes. And I go have to go home and cook. Thank you for doing this. That was very
Madison, as you're layering, what's your thought process here? Because I see you looking and you're making marks everywhere.
I am thinking about, I don't want to lose my drawing. I'm thinking about, I want to have all my kind of pieces kind of placed first. And then, sometimes the hardest part is just to get the paint, on the canvas. Get everything down first, and then I can start to manipulate it. And when I say manipulate it, I'll manipulate it with palette knife or with whatever. I am going to go ahead and make my background a little more solid. Big brush.
Has everybody seen the fish?
I think it's
Madison, you may have said, but what brush is that, do you know?
I have absolutely no idea.
The one that was in.
As you can see, I really do take care of my brushes.
Well, I'm intrigued by the fact that you've used a smaller, not really small, but comparatively for your canvas size, a smaller brush the whole time. I mean, is that just help you keep it loose?
Yeah, usually. I go back and forth between brushes and palette knives and all kinds of, my thought process is if it works, use it,
Approach it, right? And you don't have any kind of medium with this particular paint? This paint's
I mean, just a touch of water.
Is that the only size container that paint comes in?
No, they have larger ones.
Like two, it's like small ones.
Yeah, they've got the bigger size. So like with mine, I use a lot of yellow ochre and I use a lot of black and white. So I usually get a bigger size in those colors.
So the background color is yellow ochre and,
In black and white
okay.
for the most part. But again, I do so many layers that it's going to be probably a few different layers of a few different colors.
Madison, have you always been an acrylic painter?
I started off as an oil painter. My grandmother was an oil painter. I love oil paint, but my studio at the moment does not have a window, which does not make it extremely advantageous to painting in oil. But I think of myself as an oil painter who paints in acrylic. Because I do love it. But also, you know, I paint very large for the most part. And if I were to be painting a 48 by 60 oil painting without a window, that's just not.
Have you ever combined the two? Like, I'm starting to do like blender paintings in acrylic, and then I'll use oil on top because
Yeah.
it's more blendable, and I like the look
Yeah.
of the blended.
Yeah, I've done that quite a bit. It's beautiful.
You can kind of establish it what you're,
Mhm.
what you want, and then refine it with the oil. I like to do that.
Y'all, these Posca markers, if y'all go to Trader Joe's, that's what they use on all of their signs that are so pretty in the store. They have an art team there in each store, and that's what they use. They're fun to work with.
Madison is the white.
No, so you can get them at Hobby Lobby, even Walmart even has them. Amazon, yeah.
Madison
Yeah,
is the white.
Madison.
Did you make your green?
The fitter white accent, is that Posca or is that something else?
It's Posca marker.
Forstall has a huge supply of Posca.
And they have a section where you can test them out too, which is really nice.
And he makes gumbo.
And he makes gumbo.
Beer and wine.
I have absolutely no idea what I will be painting during the sip and shop, but we'll figure it out. So my basic thought process is I make a big mess, and then I go back and fix it. Make a mess, go back and fix it, back and forth, back and forth.
How did you make them round?
What now? It's this color called Chinese orange, which is a really, really wonderful warm tone color. I use it a lot. kind of like a really pure sienna.
Is that it?
That's it.
Are these colors pretty much only available in Somalia?
Yes.
Because I've never heard of them.
Yes, excuse me a minute, I'm gonna do the door prizes.
Do the door. We love a door prize.
We're gonna do door prizes. If you haven't signed, come up here and sign your name. We need to know that you were here too. We're gonna call out a name. Mary Ann Hood. Floyd. I can't read. Mary Ann Floyd, I'm sorry, Mary Ann. I knew that. I know a Mary Ann Hood.
Madison, tell me about
Becky
the
Lawrence.
black shapes.
The one.
The black shapes you were telling us about in that painting.
Black.
The black shapes in your photograph and how you put the black shapes in your painting.
How I
Shadows.
how I draw, like how I outline it.
Uh-huh.
One thing that I'll do a lot of is I'll take a photograph and say it's a pretty busy photograph or whatnot. I'll just take a Posca marker and just outline the entire, just go and outline the entire negative space around it. If I had one of my thinner Posca markers, I would do it, but it helps a lot to kind of see things a little more clearly. Just kind of one of those almost gimmicky kind of things that just works.
Beverly Phillips.
So is any of the acrylic that you've put down so far still workable?
Oh yeah, it's all working.
Okay. That's amazing.
And Pam Benoit.
Yes, ma'am.
What are you doing right now?
Just stressing the surface a little bit. I like to always have like a blending brush, as I'm working. I like to put on a layer and then blend it out, and then put on another layer and then blend it out. It's a way of abstracting the image, but it's also a way of kind of making things a lot softer.
So Madison, is there a lot of like drying time between your layers, or do you continue to work it like oil?
I usually will keep going, but there are times where I really love to do glazing, so I have to let it dry. But with acrylic, it's almost in a way similar to encaustic, where it's starting to dry the second it goes on the surface.
What do you do to keep your palette from drying out?
I just keep working. There's an immediacy that you have to have with acrylic if you want it to work. And
I notice you don't have like a mister or anything like that to keep your paints moist.
No.
And they're still just doing this. I can't imagine acrylic style. Fabulous.
Does that brand dry slower that you know?
I think so. I think it does.
I know recently, in getting ready for the holiday show, I was wondering about mixing slow dry medium into the water for me.
Mixing what?
The medium, the retarding medium
Oh.
into water.
I
For
love
misting.
I love using the golden retarder. It's really great. That with the light modeling paste does give you that oil paint look for acrylic.
Do you paint any small paintings?
I do sometimes.
The eyeball.
The eyeball.
But it's a big eyeball.
Madison, what is the eyeball painted on? What's it?
That's just a panel that I had. I did a whole series of eyes about a year or two ago that a lot of designers really, really liked, you know? And everybody thought they were real sweet, you know?
Bloodshot thoughts?
And I just kind of made them up for the most part. So I wanted to do one that was a little less.
Did you ever see the exhibition at the museum, at the art museum for the lover's eyes?
Yes.
That was cool.
Again, this is an extremely condensed demo of how I work usually.
Madison, you mentioned that you glaze your finished product. What's your process on glazing?
Not the finished product. Usually what I do is I do a heavy layer of paint, I let it completely dry, and then I do some glazing. So that's a thin wash, and then let that dry and do a thick layer of paint on top of that. Glaze, thick layer, glaze, thick layer, back and forth, back and forth.
Do you use a glazing medium?
I
or
do not, I
water?
just use thin down water.
I've always heard it won't stick like acrylic because it doesn't have a medium. I've heard before that it won't stick well. It
If you use too much water.
Well,
It doesn't?
Speak
it
louder.
does.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, my thought process is like, I'm gonna try to do everything that I can just with the paint and with the water before I start adding, you know, additives and mediums and all of that. Because you can get very overwhelmed when it comes to acrylic because there are so many different mediums and whatnot.
Madison, are most of these in her palette more opaque, or there's some transparent color?
It's a pretty opaque paint line. I mean, it's pretty heavy, which is why I like it.
Madison, what do you glaze with?
I just used the thin down paint with water.
Is it always the same color though?
I usually use a glaze to warm things up or to tone things down. I don't use I don't add white.
There aren't too many transparent acrylics,
Or in
so.
sections.
Gray glaze.
A little bit of both.
Okay.
A little bit of both. But it's usually it's usually the whole thing. I do varnish. I use a Gamsol oil and acrylic varnish that I really, really love. It is brush. I don't trust the spray, and I feel like I'm really making something if I use a brush.
And is it matte?
I use satin.
Is it
Gambar. Sorry, I went to public school in Selma.
How do you finish your sides?
I paint all my edges black.
Madison, when you use the Posca markers and then the Gambar on top of it, do you get any running?
No.
Or are the markers so far underpainted?
It pretty much seals it. I haven't had a problem yet.
So no bleeding?
Hmm.
It doesn't bleed?
It doesn't bleed, no.
They're acrylic paint too, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
So Madison, are you, when you get the lighter, pink shades and you're not using white, are you just using more water? What?
Yeah, I like to have some areas of the painting to be very heavy and some areas to be very, very thin. I think that gives you kind of an interesting interesting surface.
I thought you had white paint on there, did you not?
Yeah, there's white in here.
Okay.
I always start off with white on the palette.
Madison, how do you know when to quit?
That is the great remedial question that always pops up in my abstract class. I think it's a little, not easier, but it's a little more obvious when it's a representational painting. I don't think it's a concept of being finished. I think it's when are you content to let it be. That's how I think about it. Because like with an abstract painting, you know, I can keep going and going and going and going. I think it's about being content with it. It's like, do I run more of a risk of working on it more, or should I just stop now? You know.
Back here, that's looking pretty good right now.
So do you have a consistent practice, like do you paint a couple 12 hours in a block? Do you paint in the morning?
My studio at Forstall is the first time that I've had a studio that is not in my house. Madison has this existential fear that, it's gonna go away. I know that's not gonna happen, but that's just some, probably some only child trauma or something involved in that. But I try to go to the studio every day. Like, I'll go to the studio after I leave here. Because since I don't paint at home, if I'm not in the studio, then I'm not painting. And that's a thing, so. Also, it's not, I don't need to be bored.
Is the final varnish of the time-ball varnish an absolute necessity?
I think it is. Acrylic obviously has a tendency to, when it dries out, it flattens out. And I do a lot of black backgrounds in a lot of the work, so I think that a varnish is necessary.
Do you varnish?
And it just looks pretty.
Do you prefer glossy or semi-gloss?
I use
or
satin.
matte?
I use satin,
okay.
and no, I don't varnish the paper. Because the paper, the paper is going to get rolled up and just run a risk of messing it up. You could probably varnish the paper.
This dude didn't even need a drop off.
I'm surprisingly very clean, contrary to public opinion.
That's amazing.
How do you frame the paper?
I like to, so my first job was I was a framer,
Okay.
and I'm very particular on framing. I like to frame my works on paper just about all the same size.
I mean, do you
I
put
mean,
it
I'll-
under glass or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I like to float works on paper.
Okay.
I think that that's just a really attractive.
So how do you mount it?
I just mount it on like a faux linen, do not dry mount it. If you dry mount it, you're basically gluing it to a board and it loses any remedial value that it might have.
So how do you fix it to the linen?
I use archival tape,
Okay.
museum tape.
That's looking very, very nice.
Or as I say in class, I'm not mad at it. My grandmother had one of my favorite things that she would say when she was drawing before she do a preparatory drawing for painting is you draw lots of lines and then you pick out the ones you like the best. And I really love that. So that's kind of how I think about it.
Is this an example of something that you would teach in your realist class?
Yes. Lois did a beautiful version of this, actually.
Thank you. I'm still here.
with that. So you're gonna have to do a series of hydrangeas for
Look,
all
that's
the
what it
fans.
sounds like.
It would be a hydrangea water.
I'm from Montgomery, well, grew up in Montgomery kind of, and my first job was at Stonehenge Gallery, and was where I was fortunate enough to come under the friendship and influence with Clark Walker and Jake Wagnon, which, you couldn't have asked for better mentors. Jake and Clark left us last year. They couldn't, they had to one up each other. But I remember Clark would always do oak leaf hydrangeas. And I love to challenge myself and say, okay, I've never painted so-and-so before. And that was one thing I never painted was oak leaf. I painted regular hydrangeas, but I never painted oak leaf hydrangeas. So I thought that was a nice little ode to Clark.
And the white that you're using, are you mixing in modeling paste with that, or is it that opaque?
No modeling paste.
So that brand is very opaque.
Yep. Which is why I like it. I'm gonna tell you, it's great. I mean, with some acrylic, you can, like with Golden, for example, one tube is gonna be $12, and the other tube is gonna be $6, depending on what color it is. With this, it's all the same price. So it's pretty great.
Do you remember how much the tubes
I think they're like $6.50.
How does the cap close? That's my big thing. I can't stand gunked up caps.
Oh, it's just a twist.
It twists.
Yeah, it's great.
Have to look at it.
It's the top to an inch and a half or something, except smaller. And it squirts out the plastic part, and then the top screws down onto the plastic part.
Like sour cream, like Daisy sour cream.
Yes, like Daisy sour cream.
Just out of the box.
Just like Daisy sour cream.
I was trying to think of something to food. Oh, I know what comes in bags like that. So, like refills.
So Madison, are the feet archival?
Some of those plastic bags.
Feet archival.
Yes.
Plastic.
I'm weird about archivalness.
Squeeze the bag.
Not that anyone is going to care in 50 years, but I do.
So I missed that question. So these are very archival?
Mm-hmm.
Even the reds?
Even the reds.
So Madison, do you always paint the background as you're going along?
As I go along, yeah.
But always, not just for doing it? Or most of the time?
Most of the time. If I'm doing a black background, what I'll do is I'll draw the image and then I'll paint the background around it to kind of really make sure that I have my drawing right. always drawing and redrawing. Get that image right.
Or as my daughter would say, zhuzhing.
Zhuzhin. We're zhuzhin. We're zhuzhin. Oh, wait. I don't really use a lot of water, as you can tell.
No, I'm amazed by that.
And my biggest thing that I tell my students, what's the biggest thing I tell my students?
So do you have a brush for every
What?
color?
Not generally, no. My biggest thing I tell my students though is don't let your brushes sit in water. If they sit in water, they're just going to get thinned down and you're not going to build up any layers. And people are like, oh, well, my acrylic paintings are so flat. It's like, well, your brushes are sitting in water. If you keep working, there's a lot of paint on these brushes. They're not going to dry.
Okay.
I do use my fingers a lot. And I will tell y'all, I learned this the hard way. And if y'all taken my class, you've probably heard me tell the story. I had an art show in Troy once at the Johnson Art Center, Johnson Center for the Arts, which is a lovely little museum downtown Troy. And I had this 48 by 60 painting of an owl. And it was really great. It was great. And it was a barn owl, and the head, you know, the feathers they kind of taper out, and I just had used my thumb and the side of my hand to kind of go around it, you know, to get that right look. And they sent whoever covers the arts and culture section for the local Troy paper. I'm sure it's lovely. And they're asking me all these questions. Obviously, they had never, covered an art show before. And they're asking me all these questions, and they're like, well, tell me about this owl. And I just start, saying, well, I was, doing this and this and this and whatever. And, and this part I, painted it kind of with my fingers. Article comes out. First line of the article, Madison Faile only paints with his fingers.
Listen there, buddy.
Finger painting.
Finger painting.
We all did it in
Finger painting.
grammar school.
How we doing on time?
Good. Another hour. 11:30. 11:35.
One thing I have kind of learned is that as I work, I slow down. You know, start really big and then we start to slow down, which is good.
So when you're not doing a demo, do you like take time to step way back from the
Yes,
beginning?
yes,
Look
yes.
at everything.
Philip always knows when I'm working because he can hear me pacing back and forth. I'll do, 5, 6, 8 layers. I also learned that my easel that I've had for 4 years lays flat.
Oh, wow.
I've had it for 4 years.
Just now finding that out.
Just now finding that out. Was very excited when I found that out though.
This painting has no blue in it. Like you've not used a blue out of the tube.
Mm-mm. Do you want me to?
No, I'm just curious.
I can if you want.
I know. I just noticed that you didn't put any on your palette at the beginning, so. No, it's beautiful. What is the red? What's the name of the red?
It's just vermilion.
Okay.
No, vermilion.
It's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous red.
Hey Madison, when's your next
Next show will be the paper sale on the website, but don't have a show planned. Madison's New Year's resolution for 2025 was to learn how to say no to things, and Madison failed miserably at that. So I'm going to take a little break and build up some inventory.
So are you not doing the Loyola next year?
Oh, I'm going to do Loyola.
Do you do all your painting while standing?
Unless I don't win. Mostly, yeah. Mostly. I can't sit and work.
Can you explain your thought process with what you're doing right now? Are you trying to change the value in certain areas?
I am doing now is sometimes I like to have, it's fun, but I like to do this kind of fun mark making.
Is it kind of random, or are you looking for
It's random.
places?
It's random. It's random. Because I do know that, like, as I do this, I'm gonna go and glaze over a lot of this and make it more solid. It's still pretty, loose right now, which is fine, but
You're just trying to add interest.
interest,
right?
yeah.
What will the glazing do?
It will tone it down.
Okay.
It will make it more cohesive in a lot of ways.
Uh-huh.
What color do you plan to use?
I have a kind of an amalgamation of dark colors that are in my studio. It's ochre and black and the Chinese orange, and it just makes a really beautiful dark glaze. Kind of looks like film almost.
Is this still the Sennelier brand?
Yes. It's really all I use now. I just love it. My thought process is if it works, it works.
You're gonna be using that paint on Saturday for demos?
I guess. I'll be using whatever they give me.
When you use the black gesso,
I use that, if I'm doing something on, if I want to paint on black. Sometimes I will draw with the black gesso, because it's very, very matte.
Does it have a grit to it?
It does. It also dries faster than regular gesso, and I don't know why.
It's so opaque, it's just almost better than using
You
black
can.
paint.
I love black gesso. Are we looking from back there?
That's beautiful.
It must be really entertaining because they got it so warm in here, it's easy to go to sleep.
It is very warm in here. It's not. That's not just me. It's like it's warm in here, right?
Now it's too warm, it was too cold, now it's too warm, it was cool when we got in here, so they needed to bump all of it. Nature. So if I'm one, the hot nature people out here are gonna be really miserable. You ever worry that you're gonna mess up something when you do that?
Nope.
Cause I would.
But see, that's the beautiful thing about it.
You have to paint over it,
You
mess
can
it up.
mess it up,
That's
do it
right.
again, mess it up, do it again.
I just don't wanna have to do it again.
Is that a flower over the red flower on the right side? The gold?
This,
Uh-huh.
yeah, it is. It's going to be.
Okay.
Ten more minutes, man.
10 more minutes.
Or whenever, whenever you wanna get.
Do they have anything out there?
That was just feverish.
Not too bad for a Tuesday meeting. I think we're gonna have a nice batch of people for next year, so stay tuned.
What do you have set up for?
We'll give away a surprise. As it stands right now, Jonathan Matthews, who is amazing. Jonathan's a good friend of mine from Montgomery, who's one of the most brilliant draftsmen you will ever see. He has built an entire career off of doing portraits of children and they are amazing.
That's tough.
So he's great. He's an odd one, but he'll be fine. Mark Mosley, who is now head of the painting department at Troy, very good corporate portrait painter. And a few other people who have yet to
Must be Pam.
yeah.
She's so silly.
So usually when I get to, whatever stage this is, I give it some space and I look at it and I think, okay, drawings off here, this is too big, this is too small, whatever. And then I go and I start to really hone in and fix some of my problems. And that's when I usually will do a glaze on it. And I do the glaze flat. And it usually just kind of brings everything home. And then once the glaze is dry, then I go back over it with heavier paint. All in all, I think some of the larger paintings of mine, about a week, probably.
Madison, is there a place we can go and see it when it's finished?
I'll post a picture of it.
Will you sell this one?
I'm gonna try. Lord willing.
It's beautiful, Madison.
Thank you.
Do you paint the edges?
Yeah, I paint the edges black.
Just one.
What do you use? The acrylic paint or just
Just acrylic.
When you do a show, do you show both your abstracts and your realistic?
I do.
things at the same time?
And people have a problem with that. But that sounds like their problem. Going back to Clark, Walker, and Jake Wagner, they always did both. They painted objectively, representationally, and nobody ever batted an eye. And now, I don't know if it's social media or what it is, but with my generation, people expect you to just do one thing. They just want to scroll through your Instagram and just see the same painting over and over and over and over again. I would go insane, more than I already am. Like, I can't do it. I love abstraction, and I love realism.
It's what inspires you, right?
Right, and I love both. And I'm like, I can do both, so I'm gonna do both. And if you don't like it, then...
It's because you're left and right-handed, see?
So, in this extremely condensed version of what my studio practice, imagine, 6 more layers on this,
So does it have an impasto layer when you're done?
Yeah. If I keep, and I put my brushes in water after I'm done with them, just about. But, I'll build up layers and layers, and that's what's going to give me that really granulated, chunky look.
So this is a 2-hour painting, but how many more hours will you put in?
Oh, I'm going to take this back to the studio today and work on it. I'm not done yet.
How many hours do you think?
I don't know about hours, but days, probably about 3 more days. Because also, I do, all of this thick impasto, and once it dries and I do my glaze, that glaze gets caught in all of this, and that's what I want. That's why I do all of this very heavy layering, heavy application at first, so that glaze will get kind of caught all in that, and that's what's going to really make it pop.
Can we see it on Saturday?
What's happening Saturday? Oh, that. Does anybody want to be Madison's personal assistant? Yes. Just remind me. I have no earthly idea what I'm doing on Saturday.
Be nice to see that after a couple more days.
You know, like that, for example. This is very, very bright. And it's too bright for this, for this to be a finished product right now. But I know that I'm gonna glaze over that though. So sometimes that's too bright. Some of these things are too bright, but I know that I'm going to alter it later.
For glaze?
I just use thin down paint and water. That's it. Again, acrylic can be really overwhelming with the amount of mediums and glazing mediums and all of this, and I'm like, that's fine. If it works for you, do it. But I'm gonna try to figure out how to just do it with paint and water first.
What time are you doing on Saturday?
I have no idea. I assume all day.
It's a great party.
Oh, it's a wonderful party. It's Forstall's open house, practically. I mean, that's what it is. It's their holiday open house.
Is there extra parking beyond the parking lot and back that you recommend for Saturday? Because I assume it's gonna be really busy.
I don't know of anything else going on downtown on Saturday. Yeah, so I think you'll be fine.
I'm just used to going in the parking lot.
Yeah, and you can use the parking lot.
Just get there at 10 o'clock and hang on.
Yeah.
Janet, there are a couple of parking garages that are within 2 blocks.
Okay, I don't know about that. The on-street parking now is there any app that you need to use?
Madison, will your white flowers get a glaze? Your white flowers will get a glaze?
Yes. It's also what kind of makes it feel
A warm
old.
glaze?
Yeah, warm glaze. It's what makes it feel old, which is what I love.
Now these colors, this color looks very antique. You can ask them? You ask them. We're wondering how much you will charge for painting this size.
This is a 30 by 40, 1200.
It's a good price. Yeah.
Don't we get a commission since we put our opinions in?
Okay, sure. And I think someone asked about the works on paper. I've never done a paper sale on my website before. I did build my website by myself, which was, I was very proud of myself.
It's a great website, Madison. I linked it in the post that's on our website about your demo.
Okay,
I linked your website to that post.
okay.
I could do that on Facebook.
I'm about to update my headshots and all of that, because I got new headshots recently when I did the article for Birmingham Lifestyle. But I've never done a paper sale before. That's something that a lot of friends of mine do, dropping a new collection or whatever they want to call it. Kind of hate the term collection, but so I think I'm going to do, they're all the same size. They're all 18 by 24. They're all unframed. They'll be rolled up and shipped and whatever, and I think I'm going to just do 500 a piece, which I think is fine. Also, you think about it, it's like someone's going to have to frame that. So, depending on how they frame it, it's, so.
We're about out of time. It's at 12 o'clock.
So we'll.
Thank you.
That was a great demo. We learned a lot.